Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I really appreciate you guys, all your comments and views and everything. Starting out on YouTube still, making more videos. There's going to be plenty more to come. A few things we're going to go over today. Last week I was using my Gold Match Custom and it sort of quit working. The BBs were just kind of falling out the barrel. Kind of thought I had a jam or something at first, but I got home and took the slide off, and then I heard a rattling noise. And yeah, took the valve off, or sorry, the nozzle off, and it had a broken valve block. Little piece rolled out. Oh, yep. So, I had an extra one. I've already replaced that in my Gold Match. We're back to working and everything's good here. So what I was going to do here is I bought some replacement parts over here. I got some new stuff from new order from E-Vike. I ordered the UAC valve, the valve block. You get a spring here, extra spring, and I also have the garter kit. I bought the garter valve nozzle kit. And what we're going to do is I'm going to install this brand new garter kit in here in my UAC Airsoft Masterpiece, and then we're going to fire it and check FPS, see what happens. Then we're going to take that out and we're going to put the UAC kit in. We're going to fire that. I've got the X-Core Tech here, FPS. We can figure out, we can shoot this and get the FPS. We'll see if we have any changes, FPS, any kind of difference, anything like that. Some other parts that I got here are for my new build. I've got a new slide release for the full auto build. Excuse me, this is the extended slide release. And I also got a new one for my Armor Works because I'm now using that one on this build. So it had just happened to work and that worked good. And then the trigger here, this is also an Armor Works trigger that I got. I want to see if this is going to work in my 9-ball Lilacs, my full auto build. So we're going to try and see if this is going to work in that trigger. That's about it. Oh, I also got some Thunder Bees. Needed some more Thunder Bees. Got a new box or set of those, and I bought some tracers, but I swear I bought the 20s, but I got 12s. So I don't know. I'm just gonna end up using those probably in my Tokyo Marui AEP. This is my Lilacs custom battery operated, so the 12s should work fine in this. That'll be okay for that. Okay, so first thing we want to do, I'm going to tear this down. Should only take a couple seconds. Get you guys set up here. Alright, I'm going to pop the slide lock. This is short stroke, so come right out. We're going to take the lower, set that aside. This is my short stroke kit. We're going to get everything out of here. We're going to take this all down. So I got to take a little Allen wrench here and stick it in. Get my 4.3 guide plug out. I am using a stock Tokyo Marui Gold Match Custom. I took the Gold Match Custom rod out. This is a UAC, that's supposed to be a short stroke spring kit, and then the UAC 4.3 guide plug. That's what I'm using on this now. We can probably we'll shoot it and check the FPS with a stroke kit, and then maybe take the stroke kit off, the short stroke kit off, and see what happens there. I can also change the spring too out to a 120 or a 150. Okay. Barrel assembly should slide right out. Might have to finagle it a little bit, kind of make sure everything is lined up and stays together to get that out of there. We don't need to do anything with that. You can set that to the side. Okay, we're just going to take our blowback unit out. Drop right out. And we got here our return spring is a little loose. So I got some, there's a pretty big gap in there if you can see between that. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to change that out into one that's going to fit better. Got some over here. Okay, first thing, take out this valve, or sorry, this nozzle. Take the nozzle out. Okay. You're going to take the old spring, nozzle, this is fine, this is still usable. And we're just going to drop that down in our valve, our nozzle. I keep calling that a valve. Okay, and then we'll take the valve block. And a good way to orient this is to just find the hole on the top there, and then make sure it lines up with the top of the nozzle. Okay, so our spring down in there, we're set. Drop that in there first, and then put that valve block in. Now, if you can't get in there, you can't see it, take like a little screwdriver and you can put it in there, because you got to push that down in there a little bit. You might have to wiggle it around to get it to set right, but if you just remember where the hole is, top of the nozzle, top of the valve, now you can just use that to push that down in there. Or a different, even a pen, if you have a pen, something like that, that'll fit in there. That fits perfect. Line the hole up, take your screw, little tiny screw, just be very careful, make sure it goes in the hole, and take your time. See, I'm not lined up yet. Okay, you can start to feel it, maybe grip. No, I'm not in there yet. Hold on a sec. Okay, there we go. I see it. It's going to take you a minute, and if you're impatient or you don't have good skills at stuff like this, it might take you a little longer. Okay, we're in. Be very careful, not over tighten. Once it gets tight, just a little bit more, that's it. You don't want to break that. Okay, now just check, look inside, give that a push. I'm just using this pen here. If you can see inside there, just make sure you got the spring action, make sure the valve is seated, and you should be good. Now we're going to install back into the blowback. You got to kind of tip it like this, make sure that notch goes in the groove on the top. Alright, and then just get it to right about, and put a little dab of oil on the O-ring. I'm using this murder oil, medium. Just kind of put one dab on the O-ring, kind of work it back and forth a little bit, get that oil will go all the way around eventually, and you don't have to over oil it. One drop's usually good enough. Okay, put that all the way back, seat it. Then we're going to take our new spring here, put the wound up end to the back, and we got a good fit there. That's a nice tight fit, it's good. Our spring is even sort of lifting, so we got to be careful now. Take your slide, drop it down nice and easy, push your blowback unit in. You can hold it with your thumb right here and just kind of check and make sure you're okay. Alright, we're going to put our protection pad back on, and then our screw. Don't tighten this down all the way. Get it a little tight because we're going to switch this out with that UAC valve probably in part 2 here. Let's see, let's get this together. Slide our barrel assembly in. Then our rod and spring guide. I usually hold it upside down. I like to pinch this nice and tight closed. Hold it upside down. Very gently slide it on, and it usually goes on good, no problems, every time. And when we put our slide lock back in, give it a check, and we're back together. So, next video, I'm going to have to do a part 2 here. We're about to run out of time. We will check the FPS on this, and then we'll see what's going on, and I'll rip it down again, switch the nozzle valve for the UAC. We'll shoot it again and see what happens. Alright, we'll see you guys in part 2. Thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate it a lot. Subscribe, like, comment.